How's it going, everybody? My name is Jake. I go by JRide Flips here on social media, and I am a full-time eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Amazon reseller. Quarter 4 is right around the corner. We literally have about 2 weeks before then. I'm already starting to see an increase in sales due to the seasonality of everything that's going on. Plus, I have been acquiring and listing more quality items. I wanted to talk today about how we can increase our sales during Q4 and Q1 for that matter. The reasons why sellers typically make more money during these quarters as opposed to the other 2 quarters, and real life tips on the items we should be buying and how we should list them to elicit more sales on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Amazon. First off, there are about 3, maybe 4 main bullet points of how I am going to increase my sales in Q4 and how you guys can do so as well. The first main bullet point that I'm going to be focusing on for increasing my sales in Q4 is actually seeking out more new items. I do a lot of retail arbitrage at places such as Ross, TJ Maxx, Walmart, even Hobby Lobby and Target and Marshalls, things like that. I'm going to be looking for more deals because typically during Q4, people are buying brand new items that they can gift to their siblings, children, parents, family, friends. Typically, people gift brand new with tag items to others. There are some items that are re-gifted, I guess, used, resold items that get given for Christmas, such as like vintage retro gaming equipment or games. Also, a lot of people buy used golf clubs to give as gifts, things like that. But the majority, and then obviously, like if you have vintage collectors for clothing or toys like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or things like that, those things are going to sell well during Q4 as well. But typically, a lot of the things that are selling well during Q4 in e-commerce are brand new items that people are getting for their family members and friends for Christmas. So I'm going to be upping my game at Ross and TJ Maxx and Walmart and these places using my resources with Deal Soldier, and also various ways that I am up on what is trending and how to find items below market at these stores that I can resell for a profit on eBay. The 2 main categories that I'm going to be focusing on are, happy birthday, is makeup and toys. I'm able to find a ton of makeup from different suppliers, as well as these resale stores like Ross and TJ Maxx. And I'm also able to find a lot of Legos and figures and different toys that sell extremely well during Christmas at all of these locations as well. The next thing I'm going to be focused on are seasonal items, typically found at thrift stores and garage sales. These seasonal items that I'm going to be looking for are typically winter items. So I'm going to be looking for a lot. I've already been finding a ton of ski goggles. Oakley ski goggles sell extremely well for me. Carrera are okay as well. Spy Optics, ton of different ones. I'm finding and listing and selling a ton of goggles. I'm going to be focusing also on puffer jackets. I buy a lot. I don't buy a ton of jackets, but when I go to thrift stores, I look at all of the puffer jackets because a lot of times you can find Patagonia, the North Face. Scott is a pretty good one that I've been finding every once in a while. A ton of different things like this. I'm also focused on looking for school supplies because a lot of people are in school during the winter and they need their calculators, they need backpacks, they need all of these things. And in a consumer society, a lot of kids use multiple backpacks each school year. I found this surprising, but there's actually data that supports this. I usually used the same backpack for 3 or 4 years. A lot of people usually get a new backpack every school year. It's becoming increasingly more popular to get a new backpack twice a year or even every semester, which there are usually 2 or 3 in each school year. So going to be looking for a lot of those as well. The third bullet point that I'm going to be focusing on for Q4 is high sold items. Now, this is a bit separate from high sell-through rate, though I always encourage you to be looking for high sell-through rate items. But the items that have that are selling dozens per day or even hundreds per day are going to increase during Q4 and Q1 because of the holidays, and then because of Q1 because people are getting their tax returns and things like that, and they want to buy things for themselves. So during Q2 and Q3, people typically shift their spending to memories, in the form of vacations, going to lake houses or the cabin, going to beach resorts, going up into the woods or ski lodges. So people are spending the majority of their money on vacations, gas, travel, food, things like that. During Q3 and Q4, people typically shift their focus to buying things for others for the holiday and then for themselves because they didn't get exactly what they wanted from the holidays, and now they have their tax returns and they can buy their Oakley sunglasses or their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or whatever they want, Magic the Gathering cards, whatever it is. So when you find things that have, like for example, even brand new computer mouses or even used computer mouses, if you see that they're, so typically I am looking for something that has like 50 listed and 100 sold, or 25 listed and 27, 28, 30 sold. But during this time, if I come across something that has a few hundred or even a few thousand listed, but it also has a few thousand sold, I'm going to take a little bit more time to research and look at that item, because if that means hundreds are selling every single day, right? Or dozens, if there's 10,000 sales in 90 days, it's a lot of sales every single day, right? Hundreds. If there is even 2,000 per day, 2,000 every 90 days, that means there's close to a dozen selling every single day. So I'm going to be looking at those items. And then if I can get them at the appropriate price and I can list mine at the appropriate resale price, then I'm going to be able to move those during Q4 because more people are buying online than ever throughout the year. So I'm looking for more new items. I'm looking for more seasonal items, and I'm looking for more high sold items. Now, you got to be careful on that last point, the high sold items, because a lot of these items, especially if they are new, can be race to the bottom type items. But I have a few videos on that, and maybe I'll do another video for Q4, how to identify what items will be going to zero and what items will still maintain a strong sales value, even if you are able to buy 5 or 12 or 80 of them at the same time. And then the last kind of tip for Q4 is you just need to list more items. So list all of your items from that I just discussed above. List the new items, the seasonal items, and the high sold items. But when all of those are done, take more time to list your death pile. A lot of people go garage selling heavy during the spring and summer and even into fall. And then they do close to no sourcing during the winter. This is the time, if you are in that category, where you need to list your whole death pile, list everything. If you source throughout the year like I do, I source heavy at yard sales, but also thrift stores and also online, then you're just going to focus on those items that I was talking about previously. But if you are sourcing year round like I am, I would consider sourcing less if you have items that aren't currently listed. I don't have this issue because me and my team, we list everything that I purchase. But if I did have a little bit of a backlog, then I would subtract a little bit of my time from sourcing, and I would allocate that time into listing more items. The more hooks you have in the water, the more fish you're going to be able to catch during Q4 and Q1. And so I would list all of the items that you have. Now, here's a few warnings and caveats to these strategies. Don't buy too much, and don't just think, oh, it's Q4, I got to list more, I've got to spend more money, I've got to do all these things. Stay within your means and make sure that you are still cash flowing your business. We can really get into some advanced business strategy here, but the average person that's doing reselling needs to limit how much they're spending on their inventory until they are cash flowing their business. And then a lot of times, once you're cash flowing your business, you can do bigger purchases for the future of your store. But a lot of people don't actually get to that point where that's like a huge beneficial strategy. So it's very important that you are buying things that are going to sell. I would make a goal. Okay, so I talk about this. I talk about this all the time. I talk about high sell-through rate items. You want to look for items that have about 100% sell-through rate, 80% sell-through rate, things of that manner. Okay, but I want it to even connect with you guys even a little more, so I'm going to phrase it differently. If you would like to, this is your business, you can do whatever you want, but I would make the goal to only buy things that are going to sell during Q4. So that means if you buy something that has 100 listed and only 25 sold, it's going to take more than 90 days to sell that. So don't buy that item because it's not going to sell during Q4. Now during Q4, the sell-through rate is going to increase a bit. That is true. But if you only focus on items that are going to sell extremely fast, you're going to have awesome cash flow in your business. Now, if you're in a position right now to where you have savings, you are at an extreme cash flow moment in your business right now. I'll speak personally. Right now, things are going extremely well. I am spending hundreds of dollars on inventory every single day, but we are making well over hundreds of dollars per day. So we're outpacing our spending right now. So this could be a time in my business where I could go out and overspend, knowing that I am selling so much inventory that this could be a period in my time where I can actually invest capital into building up my store and selling more items. I don't think I'm going to do that just because the cash flow of this business is great and I have other streams of income and things like that. But if you were at an opportunity to where you could go and buy a freak ton of Legos at Target, now would be the time to do so because a lot of them are going to be going on sale for the new inventory that's coming in behind it. And all of that inventory that they are liquidating is going to sell extremely well on eBay and Amazon. Brand new sealed Legos sell just as well on eBay as they do Amazon. I feel like that's kind of like a myth where it's like, well, you can, like, you're going to sell them for significantly less on eBay. Sometimes you do. Sometimes they just go for way more on Amazon. But a lot of times they go for the same or just slightly less on eBay. So Legos are brand new sealed Legos that you can buy for $20 at Walmart. A lot of them sell for $85 on eBay. So it's something that you guys can look into for sure. But during Q4, this is definitely a time to everyone focuses during Q4. Everyone focuses on this last point that I'm talking about, listing more. But I think it is much more important to have a focus on your items during Q4. So instead of just listing anything and everything and trying to get up as much as you can for Q4, what I would actually recommend is focusing on the best items possible that you can find. This is going to be seasonal decorations and jackets and school supplies. It's going to be new with tags makeup that can be stocking stuffers. It's going to be new with tags, and it's going to be items that are selling multiple quantities every single day. So really appreciate you guys coming to my 13-minute rant. If you guys have any questions about eBay, Amazon, Poshmark, Mercari, if you guys have questions about thrift stores or garage sales, if you guys have questions about business and mindset, if you have questions about taxes or any small things about individual platforms like promoted listings or sell-through rate or items, if you guys have any questions regarding anything about reselling or business, or you want to ask me any personal questions, go ahead and put them in the chat and we will get to them. I appreciate you guys. We're 14 minutes in. We have 136 people in here. Also, I would love to know how many sales you guys have had today. So today's been a bit slower for me with my other phone. Let's oh wait, I can actually see on Flyp. Let's see the sales for today. Let me know in the chat how many sales you guys have gotten today. I'll tell you guys what I got yesterday and today. So today is the 19th, correct? So on the 8, so yesterday we did 8, 18, 19, 20. Yesterday we did a solid 20 sales. So we had 20 sales yesterday, which is a bit below my average for the week, but still great. Like, I'm definitely happy with 20 sales across eBay, Poshmark and Mercari. I don't include my Amazon sales because it's just a whole different beast. And my profit margins on eBay are like around 60%. My profit margins on Amazon are around 25%. Sometimes around like 18, which gets a little nuts. It's a little rough, but it's all good. So yeah, 20 sales yesterday, and then today is definitely a bit slower. We are only at, geez, my computer's having a hard time loading. Let me just kind of look manually. Today's the 19th, so we're at 2. Oh yeah, today is much slower. We're only at 7 sales on the day. So hopefully things pick up there, but definitely doing good. So appreciate all you guys coming out. If you guys have any questions about anything, let's get to them. Kohl's MLB socks sales price. Thanks. Not sure what your question is exactly. Are you asking me at what price you should buy them? It all depends on your business model. If you're okay with only making 80 cents per item, then you could go in and buy $15,000 worth of socks today. That's a business model that a lot of people do. That's not what I recommend, and it's not what I do. What I do is I find, so if you can find Stance MLB socks at Kohl's is going to be a bit harder unless you're like stacking those coupons. If you can wait for them to make it to TJ Maxx or Marshall's, a lot of times you can find those for $3 to $6. I have actually a few MLB socks from Stance in stock right now. I bought all of them for $3 to $4 each, and I've been selling them from $20 to $24 plus shipping. So, hey Jared, I learned a lot from your videos. Thanks for all the tips and advice. Hey, appreciate you. Chicago Burbs here and killing it. Awesome. The Thrifty Realtor. Hey J-Ride, how do you feel about the conflict in Israel? This is not a political channel, but you guys can ask me anything. I believe that every single person on this planet is a children of God, and that we all should respect each other in every single way possible. I believe that we need to do everything we can to take care of ourselves and our family and our community. And if we can all increase our relationship with ourselves and our community, then everyone around the world would benefit from it. So I am not super versed on the conflict in Israel right now, but I think if we all can learn to love each other a little bit more, things will be much better. Hey Jared, I learned a lot from watching your videos. Thanks for all the tips and advice. I've been selling online since February, and I'm averaging about $1,500 profit each month, growing monthly. That's what I'm talking about, man. Those are some really good numbers. Yeah, that's really great. What do you sell on Whatnot? I don't really sell on Whatnot at all. I've done 3, maybe 4 live shows. It's back when I had more clothing, and yeah, I would just pretty much liquidate clothing on there. I sold some like vintage Wrangler shirts and Tommy Bahama stuff. But yeah, I don't sell on Whatnot. I haven't sold on Whatnot in over a year, I think. Maybe just under a year. But yeah, it's been somewhere around a year since I've sold on Whatnot. But I do still have like affiliate links out there. So I still make like probably like $150-ish a month. Oh, we just sold some Ray-Bans on eBay. That's cool. I make about $150 a month through affiliate links on Whatnot. But yeah, I don't sell on Whatnot currently. Best day to go to Goodwill, every single day that you can. Every single Goodwill is different, so I can't give a blanket answer like a Monday or a Friday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday, because every single Goodwill is different, every single manager is different, every single location is different. But every single day that you can go is a great day to go to Goodwill. I don't know, each store is just so different, because hypothetically you could think, oh, more people probably donate on the weekend, and so maybe Monday is the best day to go to the store, right? But if that store is understaffed and already behind, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what day you go, because they're already 17 days behind, that a weekend or a weekday doesn't make a difference whatsoever, right? There are in some cases where that is the best day to go is a Monday, because it's fresh after the donations. A lot of times the best day to go is on Friday, because all of the stuff that hasn't sold in preparation for the weekend, maybe those thrift stores put them on sale. But that question is impossible to answer as a blanket statement across the board. I can't even it's just every single store is so completely different. You just have to take the time to learn the cycles and the patterns of your thrift stores. Sid says, I never thought about it until watching all these different YouTubers. Do you do USPS pickup from your house, or do you drive to the post office every time? I'm trying to increase my efficiency. I have USPS come to me. At my current location, UPS would charge me $20 a day. So that sucks. So my wife drops off anywhere from like 3 to 10 packages a day at UPS, but USPS comes to my front door and picks up our usually like 25 packages that we have going out each day. Sell mostly vintage collectibles and have seen increased sales with just adding free shipping on over half of my items so far. Think they are placed higher in search using coupons helped as well. I mean, being placed higher in search, that might be so. What you're actually tapping into is just the psychology of humans. So if like when it comes to being a business owner, an entrepreneur, and a salesman online, you have to understand different buyer groups and demographics. So there are a lot of demographics that if I had, like if I was selling my iPhone for $999.99 free shipping, and then I also had it up for $844 plus $100 in shipping. The $844 plus $100 in shipping is cheaper than the one that's $999 free shipping. But a lot of people will buy the one that's $999 free shipping because they psychologically think that they're getting a deal, even though they are getting charged an additional $6. So you're just playing on the psychology of consumers, where some people some people have decided they will not buy anything unless it has free shipping. And this is a filter in eBay as well. You can filter to items that only have free shipping. So sometimes people don't even see that there is an exact identical item available for like $9 less, but they have just told themselves that they only buy things with free shipping. So they miss out on that deal because they want the free shipping deal. So I think that you are just now getting that free shipping customer base. And it appears that especially for your items, that customer base, that buyer demographic is larger than ones that pay for shipping. Little midday motivation from J-Red. Thanks for the follow on IG, brother. Been off social media for like 8 years. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I saw you commented on one of my previous videos, and I'm like, man, where's this guy been? So I followed you. But yeah, it sucks. I haven't been posting a lot on Facebook or Instagram because I got demonetized on Facebook. It's stupid. It's just dumb, man. But you guys watching on Facebook right now have probably noticed. I'm not posting a lot on Facebook and Instagram because I'm not getting paid for my content anymore. And I've talked with Facebook like 9 times on the phone, and their representatives have let me know that I will be monetized by the end of the night on each phone call, and I'm still demonetized. It sucks. Nothing wrong with my account. It's recommendable. I have no strikes, nothing. I just lost monetization somehow, and they can't tell me how. So hopefully that'll be fixed soon. But yeah, it's been 34 days now, so that's fun. J-Red, just watched some dude sell a Mickey Mantle card in an eBay auction for $272K. It just ended. Insane for carpet. Yeah, dude, that is nuts. Mickey Mantle is awesome. That's a dope card. So yeah, man, $300,000 is wild. The most speculative, valuable basketball card out there is a 1-of-1 LeBron James rookie card that someone has either opened and just hasn't told anyone, or it's still in a pack, or some kid opened it and never knew and it just kind of got lost in a move or something. But if anyone finds that card is estimated to be worth about $20 million. So Carry American Arbitrage just sold a card for like $40K, and then after all the fees and stuff, he made over $30,000, which is awesome. But could you imagine pulling that LeBron James 1-of-1? Wow, dude. That would be awesome. I would try to sell it to LeBron James. I would make content around that, and then I would sell it to LeBron for like probably 15 million, give him a little discount, and then make content around that and have this huge reach, and then probably get sponsorship deals and podcast deals and things like that to go on and talk about the card, and then actually make more money from it, because the card community is, they're deep. They love content. First time catching you live. Yay. Hey, appreciate you being here, Paul. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat. I'm having a hard time buying bulk products. Do you have any tips for that? My sell-through is really good, but I can't get enough. That is definitely one of the hardest skills to master and to even acquire. So bulk buying is extremely difficult because when you buy items piece by piece at the thrift store, you can just go pick the 7 things in the thrift store that are profitable. But in bulk buying, in a sense, you'd have to buy the whole thrift store and then liquidate most of it, sell like a good portion of it at like just a decent price, and then list the rest of the stuff at the ultra profitable price, right? Most people wouldn't just buy out a complete thrift store. It's the same thing online. So usually when you're buying bulk things like that, you are buying that middle part that I talked about. Someone else got a really good deal on some high-end stuff. They took the cream of the crop, and now they're selling you the movable but not amazing stuff, right? That is usually the case when it comes to bulk buying online specifically. Now, if you just are able to bulk buy CDs at an estate sale from someone who just died who loved Ted Nugent and Ted Nugent and Kurt Cobain and all that stuff, then yeah, you're gonna make a ton of money, which is awesome. But can I tell you guys something? I found a gold Master of Puppets Metallica CD at a estate sale the other day. It's worth like $100. I got it for like maybe 6 cents. It was so dope, so sweet. But yeah, so the tips on bulk buying is to just be patient, to just keep finding where people have included some of that cream that you can make some money on. But just be patient. Don't overbuy. A lot of times we think, oh wow, I'm making $1,000 doing this. If I just quintupled it, then I'll be making $5,000 a month. But to get there, you sacrifice sell-through and quality of items, because if you could already be there, you'd already be there, right? So a lot of times people are like, I just got to double what I'm doing right now. And it's like, well, you would have already done that if it was easy and if it was readily available. So now you're going to go out of your way to double your listings, but you're going to pick up a lot more crap, because we all would pick up $100 brand new with tags, exclusive, what's it called? Collaborations with Nike. Like we would all pick those up, right? But those aren't available to us. Still here, guys. Grim Reaper don't want none of this. That's what I'm talking about. Good to see you, TC. Keep me updated. If you want to keep me updated through my email, I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you're going through if you're comfortable sharing with me. Love your videos and have already made a few hundred adding new things to my store. Learned from you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Hopefully you start making a few hundred more and a few hundred more and a few hundred more. Jake, I have any directions source to refurbish frames. Let me know if you want to connect. You have direct sources to refurbish frames. Okay. Yeah, just send me an email at jrideflips@gmail.com. And we can talk about some stuff. What would be your advice to all clothing sellers in Q4 this year? I would try to acquire as many new items as you can. I would focus more on outerwear, such as jackets and coats and puffer vests. And I would focus on items that have a ton of sales history already. So basically my 3 tips from earlier in the video, focus on those 3 things. Plan on doing a lot of retail arbitrage leading to Christmas. Think I might hop on Deal Soldier even for the rabbit trails. Yeah, so Deal Soldier is actually pretty awesome, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's like race to the bottom items and like whatever. But it's like, so the other day I just barely got a Broncos jacket. And like I live in Utah. So like you guys in Florida aren't going to find a Broncos jacket at Burlington, because why would they waste the gas to send all of those jackets to Florida when they're already here in Denver and Utah? So, just things like that. And then you can use that video to be like, oh, sweet. Well, if I live in Wisconsin, maybe there's a few Green Bay Packers jackets that will be available in my Burlington. The best way to use these resources is to see what's posted and then to go find similar items. So like they post in that app, they post like a lot of like Hello Kitty blankets. And I'm like, sweet. While I'm here, I'm gonna check all the freaking blankets. I think that's like the biggest issue that the people that like complain about on YouTube is, like especially what sold videos, they like see me sell like a Hello Kitty blanket, and they're like, I can't find a Hello Kitty blanket in my area. And it's like, yeah, but there was probably a Barbie blanket and a Harry Potter blanket and a Peanuts blanket. Hi, honey. You can come in. Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. My wife's going to warm me up some burritos. But yeah, so like when you see me sell like remote controls, don't look for the exact remote control that I just sold. Go look up every single remote you can find now and find the good ones. If you guys see me sell like makeup, find where I found that makeup and then look up every single piece of makeup in that store until you find the profitable ones. That's how you use these applications and stuff. That like these applications give you the like right in front of your face, here you go, buy this. And then it leaves crumbs like Paul is talking about, and it leaves rabbit trails and clues of the other things that you should be looking for while you're there. So I use Deal Soldier to find really good items. And then while I'm there, I look up similar items to what I was just barely looking for through the Deal Soldier app. And then I also look up items that I know have sold in the past and go try to find those. And that's the key to success there. Thoughts on the Jazz this year, market and long term? I always lose a lot of people in my lives when I talk about the Utah Jazz because no one cares except for me. But yeah, I like it. We got a lot of draft capital. Marketing, I think, has to be the third best player on your team to win a championship. Maybe the second if you can put him by like a Giannis or a Wemby or a Cooper Flag. But other than that, I think he has to be your third best player. But I still think we have that flexibility. So. How do you sell the merchandise? I sell it all. You sell it all on eBay, Amazon, Mercari, Poshmark. If you have a more detailed question, I can probably help you out a little bit more, but that's just a little too big. Fat baby, I thought you were never coming to one of my lives again. What do you think about VCRs and VHS? I've been collecting for years and have over 50 players to sell. I've been collecting for years and have over 50 players to sell and around 2,000 sealed VHS tapes. So it doesn't matter how I feel or what I think. It only matters what eBay and the market feels and thinks. So what you do is you take all of these VHS players and these VHS tapes and you look them up on eBay. And if it shows that they're selling for $7 plus shipping, then you sell yours for $7 plus shipping. If you have like a Panasonic Blue Line VHS player, hi.
I did not know you were doing the live.
Yep. Hi guys, this is my wife. She makes appearances on the channel every once in a while. And here she is today, and she's camera shy. So if you basically what you do is you just look these items up on eBay. Never ask me or another YouTuber, does this sell well on eBay? Like ask eBay, hey, does this sell well on your site? All you do is you look up the model number, and then you see how many are available and how many have sold. And eBay will tell you, hey, this is selling hundreds of times per 90 days at $40. Or hey, this is only sold twice in the last 90 days for $6, free shipping. Don't sell it. So it doesn't matter how I feel or think about the VCRs of VHS. It only matters what the market thinks. So you can sell anything if the market is willing to buy it for your prices. And a lot of times you can't even sell things to the market for free. You can't even sell things to the market for $1 because they reject the item. So that is sales and e-commerce in a nutshell. I'm so glad to finally make your live show. I've been trying for months now. I'm really sorry that I don't have like a schedule, and I never even go like live at the same time randomly. It's always just like sometimes it's 12, sometimes it's 10 at night, sometimes it's 10 in the morning, and it's always on random days. But I appreciate you coming here. With you being in Syracuse, where I am, with you being in Syracuse, where I am, also, do you have any tips in scale in this area? I truly believe that my sales and tips, my strategy works everywhere across the country. So just I'm not doing anything different here in Syracuse than I was in St. George. The only thing that I'm doing differently is I'm able to source longer because there's more stores and items to go to. Oh, we just sold some makeup on Poshmark, brand new sealed, just like I was telling you guys earlier. But yeah, the only thing that I'm doing differently here in Syracuse is I just have more stores available to me, and so I drive a little longer and I go to more stores each day. Question about allowing offers. Do you increase the price a bit to offset offers? Nope. So I list things at market value, and then if people send me reasonable offers, I accept them. So you can't if something if people know that something's worth $100 and you list it for $140 and then send a 20% offer, like they know what's going on. You know what I mean? So they still know that that's still $20 over market. I mean, that's still $12 over market, and they'll, So yeah, just if you want people to buy your items, you just have to sell it to them at the price that they're willing to pay you. And what's really great about eBay is it tells you the market price. It tells you, hey, 17 of these have sold over the last couple days, and it's selling for this price. You can try to get more if you would like to, if you think that yours is better, but if it's the exact same quality, you're gonna have a hard time getting more money than someone else. Do you use a daily firm sheet when shipping on eBay? No. So we just have all of our sales through the various sites. So I use Flyp Crosslisting, and I go to my orders and I see all of my sales, and then I go to Pirate Ship and I just print them out all individually on my Rolo printer. And then, like I said earlier, USPS comes to our house to take all of the packages at once. And then all the other packages, my wife has to drive them to UPS every day, and she loves it. It's her favorite part. Her favorite part of the job is pulling the items from the garage.
No.
Do you have a death pile? If so, how big, and what do you recommend for dealing with it quickly? I do not have a death pile. I never really have. Currently, to the right of me, I have like maybe 60 sunglasses that I have to get through, but those will be done by the end of the week. And my wife and I are just constantly listing everything that I bring in, so I don't have any death piles. The biggest tip to dealing with it quickly is to stop buying more new items. So most of us are addicted to sourcing. Like, we love the thrill of the hunt and finding these items. Honestly, we are happier to be disappointed in finding nothing and being able to complain about it than we are just sitting in our house and listing the items that we already have. So it's an unfortunate human psychology, but it is what it is. It's the best way to get through your death pile is to just actually sit in your chair and list your items, and don't buy any new ones until it's gone or until it's to a man. Like, if you want to list the same items every single day, it's not the most important thing to do on eBay, but it is very beneficial. If you want to list 10 per day and you have a death pile of 150 items, get it down to 40 items, and then you can start rebuying again. But every time that your death pile gets over 50 items, then stop buying and then just list it until it's down to that manageable point, or until it's gone completely. I recommend getting it gone completely, but the majority of you here listening probably want to list the exact same amount of items every single day, whether they are the same quality or worse quality. But what I recommend is getting your death pile to 0. And then if you go out the next day and you only find 2 items, you just list the 2 items. But we are just right now, it's a very popular method to just list the exact same. It's very popular to list the exact same amount of items every single day, regardless of the quality of those items. And it's much better to just only list quality items, in my opinion. It's better to list 17 per week that are quality, as opposed to 70, 10 a day at a low quality, because we're not trying to actually sell items. We're just trying to list 10 every single day. And the byproduct of that is selling more items. What is much more, so instead of chasing your listing daily goal, or instead of how big you want your store, flip that. Say, I want more sales every day. How can I increase sales? Increasing your listing doesn't always increase your sales. There are much better methods of increasing your sales, which is buying items that people actually want, increasing the visibility of your items through having better titles and better keywords. But we're just so stuck on, oh, I got to get my 25 up, or I got to get my 10 up, or I got to get my 19 up, when it's like, oh, I got to list $400 worth of inventory or $800 worth of inventory. If you have all of the inventory in the world, that's a great goal. But what's much better is to just list the best items you can find. And whether that's 2 a day or 15 a day, or sometimes 9, or sometimes 17, or sometimes 6, it's just better to focus on actually selling items instead of listing them. I hope I explained that in a way where it can connect with some people. Right now, here in the YouTube reselling community, we are so stuck on listing items instead of selling them. Stop listing 10 per day. Just sell the items that you are listing. Does that make sense? Don't list items, sell them. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Where should I be sourcing in Syracuse area? I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong, if it's knowledge or if it's not reaching stores further out. Sorry, thanks for answering them all. Yeah, so this answer isn't for you and it's not for Syracuse. It's for every single place everywhere, but it is specific to Syracuse as well. It's a knowledge thing. So you need to increase your knowledge on brands and items and things that have a decent sell-through rate, and go find those items. I have the same advice for you as I have for someone in St. George, Utah, as someone who's in New York, as someone who's in Missouri, as someone who's in Kentucky or Florida. You just have to go find good items. And everywhere we are in the country, it's slightly different everywhere that you live. So you have to build the knowledge of what you're looking for and then where that stuff is located. So if you want to find gold and you go to Walmart, you're not gonna find Walmart. Like if you want to find copper, but you go and you start drilling in a place that just has sludge and clay, you're not gonna find any copper. You have to go to where copper is. If you want to find gold, you have to go to where gold is. And the whole wow, difficult word.
They're making you nervous.
And I can't even say the word. What is it? Antithesis of reselling.
What are you trying to say?
I don't even know. But that is the difference maker of a good reseller versus a not so great reseller, is understanding what you're looking for and how to find it. So, Talon Fisher, the same answer that I give to you here in Syracuse, Utah, is the same that I give to everyone else in this chat and everyone else in this world trying to do reselling. Is you have to acquire the knowledge of what you're looking for, and then you have to acquire the knowledge of how to find them. And so, yeah, but my strategy is the same in St. George as it is in Syracuse, Utah. And it would probably be the exact same in Kentucky that I just visited, and it would be the same in Florida that I've done some thrifting in, and it's be the same in all of these places. Is you just got to find good items. Have you ever lost? Yeah, I lose all the time. 3 sales today, 2, 1. This is when I asked everyone how sales are. It's only 9 a.m. here. Oh, where are you at? It is not 9 a.m. here. Nice. How do you find sell-through rate? I look at the sold filter. Yeah, so you look at how many are listed, and you divide that number by how many are sold. That is the simplest calculation of sell-through rate. So if you look up an item and there are 50 sold, 50 listed, you take that number and then you filter to sold, and you see that 25 are sold. Divide those two numbers, and that's the sell-through rate. Hey Jake, how are you doing? Hope all is well. I'm doing great. Thank you. Nice. Have you ever lost an item? What do you do? Yeah, if you lose your items, then you just have to cancel the order, and it leaves a negative mark on your eBay account. And if you get too many of those, then your status will fall on eBay. which is very agreeable. I can't.
Sucky.
No, it's understandable. Like if you don't send out an item, then you should be affected. Then eBay should be able to tell others, hey, he has some defects on his account. He's not the best at actually sending out the items that he sells you. So buy with caution. I had a guy ask to return a Logitech Z5500 that he bought. He didn't hit the return button, but asked to return the item a month later today. What is the time that they are able to return? It's different for every store, but I believe that the default is 30 days. So if you have so go to your business policies and then click on returns and see what your return policy is. If you have 60-day returns, then he can still return the item. If he has 30-day returns, you can still be a nice guy and let him return it if you would like to. But if it is day 31 and he hits return request, you can decline it. And that's what I would do. People try to return things 37 days later, 51 days later. It doesn't happen very often, but it still does. And I declined them. I don't feel morally obligated to give people returns after what we agreed upon. So when they bought something from me on eBay, they are presented with my eBay policy, which says you have 30 days to return this. So they gave me the money they felt was necessary for the item and the policies that I had attached to the item at the time. And if 3 days after that window they ask for a return, I decline it because that is not what we originally agreed upon. And it doesn't matter what they say to me. Unfortunately, they entered into a binding agreement, and if you return it on day 29, I have agreed to that, and I will give you your money back on day 29. But on day 31, I will not. How do you separate the quarters? It's just regular business is 4 quarters, right? So it's January, February, March, quarter 1. April, May, June, quarter 2. July, August, September, quarter 3. October, November, December, quarter 4. As a new reseller, my first 90-day was around $7,000, which seems good, but would I source more inventory to up that number as someone that's new to the game? Don't try to just get 14,000, because what you're going to do is you have about $7,000 every 90 days worth of items that you are finding. And if you try to just all of a sudden double that today, you're just going to start listing crap into your store because you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm selling 5 a day right now. If I just double my store size, I'll start selling 10. That's what most people logically think, but that is not what happens whatsoever, because in pursuit of getting 10 of the same quality items, listing 10 items, you don't get the same quality. Because if that was already readily available to you, you would already be getting those 10 items. So if just out of nowhere you decide you want to go from 5 to 10, but you haven't increased your skill or your knowledge, or you haven't made any major changes to your route, then you're just going to bloat your store with crap that no one wants to buy. Now, if you are only sourcing 2 hours a day and now you're sourcing 7 hours a day, then yeah, you could realistically double your sales very quickly. But what most people do is they keep everything else the same, but they just buy more junk. So don't do that. Just continue to grow slowly and accumulate more knowledge. The only way that you are going to increase your $7,000 total is to accumulate more knowledge every single day. And what will happen is you will go up until you peak, and then you will either have to make major changes in your business, or you can just be comfortable with where you're at and then just keep cash flowing from there. Any specific Lego sets you think are better, Star Wars or other brands, or do you just look at sell-through rate? Also, thanks for the killer content as always. Appreciate you, Mike. You answered the question at the end. I only go off of what eBay and the market tells me. So I don't emotionally get trapped with Star Wars or Beetlejuice or Stranger Things or Mickey Mouse. Whatever the market tells me they're interested in is what I'm going for. So just got to look everything up. I'm trying to get ungated in Nike on Amazon. It's been difficult finding a product for applying to sell Nike. Any advice? Yeah, you can. The cheapest way to do it is to just find a Nike supplier on the internet and buy socks. So you can just buy like 100 pairs of socks at probably like $3.49 each. So that's going to cost you about $350, and then you can just give that invoice to Amazon, and they should approve you. And then if it doesn't approve on the first time, literally just click refresh. And that happened to me once on Adidas. I was gated on Adidas, and I bought like 18 pairs of Adidas batting gloves. And then I sent the invoice and I clicked submit, and they said it failed. And then I clicked submit again. They said it failed. And on like the 7th try, literally just refreshing the page and clicking the button 7 times, on the 7th time, they're like, congratulations, you're ungated. so get the invoice and then just keep going. Hey, I sent you an email about video editing. Sweet, I'll take a look at it. Thanks. Had my first hate comment. I've earned my keeps. Get ready for much more. And if you're doing short form content, get ready for much more. I sell on eBay. Just had about 4 sales so far today. I remember you saying you do not use eBay for shipping. I use a third party and use a cashback credit card. Could you let me know how to start that? Yeah, I'll probably make a video on this eventually, because a lot of people ask, but it's just pirate ship. And then I use the Chase Business Preferred Inc. card, and that's ×3 on all shipping. Do you like selling on Whatnot? Not really. I haven't sold on Whatnot in over a year. Questions about selling eyegrass frames. Do you remove the lenses before shipping, or do you allow the buyer to do that? I allow the buyer to do that. So I send it as it is in the photos. How do you find out when Goodwill and other stores have sales, or when they put out when they have their new stuff put out? You have to open your mouth and talk to different managers and employees at the store, or you have to go enough daily to notice trends. So if you just go to enough stores over and over again, you'll start to notice when they put these items out. Or you can just straight up ask the manager, hey, do you guys like stock throughout the day, or do you only stock at night? Do you only stock in the morning? Do you typically stock more on weekdays or weekends? And it really just depends on your personal skills. If you go at them like aggressively, then they're probably not going to tell you any of that information. But if they're wearing a Dr. Pepper shirt and you make a joke about Dr. Pepper, and then you can slide in a political joke and things like that, then eventually you can be like, oh, sweet. Oh, yeah, I just had a question. Do you guys usually like stock on the weekends, or like throughout the day? What do you guys kind of do here? And then they'll probably give you like a jokey negative answer, because that's just human nature. Like, oh, we just, you know how it is. We sell all the good stuff on eBay. Huh? No, and then you kind of have a conversation with them, like, no, but yeah, we usually stock throughout the day, and we're heavier Monday through Wednesday, or we're heavier on Friday, or whatever it is. So you just got to talk to people and see what's up. But yeah, it's different every single store, no matter what. I have gift cards I like to sell. Would eBay be a good platform for these? Some are worth a good chunk of money because of returning clothes. How do I prevent scammers from getting them and spending the money and then come back and saying they had a zero balance? I don't know. I know people do this on eBay. You're going to have to put like 20% off. So if it has like $100, you'll have to sell it for $80 or less to actually entice someone to buy that. But yeah, that would probably be a huge scam category. So I have zero advice for that. Sorry. There's probably someone on YouTube that does that specifically. So just type your question into the YouTube search. Just put like selling gift cards on eBay and see what pops up. But yeah, that sounds like a heavily scammed category. So you can probably do it on just Facebook Marketplace and just meet someone at a gas station, or even have them come to your house. Just be like, hey,
Not to your house.
$100. My wife says not to your house. Meet them at a gas station. Say, hey, I have a $100 Macy's card. It's yours for $75, and people will come by and grab it. Have 8 sales today just on eBay. I never hear anyone talk about daily firm shipping sheets. What's the best way while shipping 20 boxes a day? I just print out the labels and slap them on. So, and then I have USPS come pick them up. That's the way that I do it. I don't know if it's the best, but it's how we do it. What's the best section of Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx to start off with arbitrage to get my feet wet? Everything under 12 ounces. So yeah, that's the best way to do it, to get into it, is just things that weigh less than a pound, which, so like clothing is usually over a pound, and clothing is what usually brings people into the store. So that's usually the lowest margin unless you're really good at it. Like you can go follow Surf's Up Finds on TikTok and YouTube. He's pretty good at that. But yeah, just anything under a pound is going to be the best place to start. Hey, J-Ride, thanks to you. You really drilled down in my head what sell-through rate really means for my business. Trying to get like you, my guy. Hey, you're doing great, Scott. Appreciate the compliment. What's a good time to list your item? When you have it in front of you. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's at 2 a.m. or 8 p.m. or 1 p.m. or 8 a.m. Whatever you want. Just there's zero effect to when you actually list your item. Unless you are doing auctions, then the best time to do an auction is to have your auction end sometime during prime time on the East Coast on Sundays. That's when the most people are shopping on eBay. So if you want to get the highest price possible for your items on an auction, then do a 7-day Sunday at like 6 p.m. and then have it end Sunday at like 6 or 7 or 8 p.m. on the East Coast. But when you're listing just your static buy it nows, does not matter whatsoever. Where's your favorite area to source in town? Everywhere. I source in Layton and West Jordan and Saratoga Springs. I think West Jordan is my favorite right now. West Jordan's been pretty good. Hey, J-Ride, love your content. It's helped a ton with sales. My question is, what do you use to cross list? I have Flyp, Flyp. It's free for 100 days. And then after that, it's just $9 a month. If you type in J-Ride Flips, Flyp, Flyp, I have a guide on how to use it and how to download it if you're interested in it. If there was a reseller basketball team, who would be your starting 5? You can run the point if you want, Elo. That's what I'm talking about. These are the questions that I am pumped about. So I would run point guard because that's what I played in middle school and high school. But I am on the taller side. I'm like 6'1". I'm between. I am 6'1", but I tell people I'm 6 foot. So I would probably take shooting guard then, because most resellers are really short. So I'm gonna take Philly Flipper at my center because I haven't met him in person yet, but I hear he's like 6'5" and he's a big guy. So we're gonna put Philly Flipper at my 5, my center. I'm gonna run shooting guard. I'm gonna put Carry American Arbitrage as our power forward. I think I'm actually going to take Chris Lynn, Daily Refinement, as our 3. I think he's like maybe an inch taller than me, like 6'1", 6'2". So we'll put him on the other wing. And then at point guard, I'm probably going to go with, man, I don't know many other guys that actually. I'm going to take Haley. Harry Tornado's wife, Haley. She's going to run point. She's going to be our Caitlin Clark. And I'm going to play the 2. Daily Refinement's going to be our 3. Carry American Arbitrage is our 4. And then Philly Flipper 5 as our center. Someone clip that. That's funny. Thanks for that question. That was awesome. That was in my wheelhouse. How you doing? How you doing, man? What? How would you handle a buyer lying and saying the item you sent doesn't match the photo? The photo they sent me has damage that the item didn't have when I sent it. I feel like they are doing a bait and switch, basically sending me a damaged item as a return that I have to pay for and refund, and I get the damaged item while they keep mine. I'm frustrated and not sure how to handle it. First off, I would ask, how many items have you sold? And are you a top-rated seller? If you're a top-rated seller, I would report them, and eBay will almost always have your back if you're not doing it every single time you get a return because you just want to keep all of your money. If this is truly a fraudulent return, you can go ahead and report the buyer. And then what eBay typically does, which is a little frustrating, but I understand why they do it, because they aren't going to take you guys to a courtroom. They're just going to trust both of you guys. And what they do is they refund them with eBay's money, and you keep the money of the sales purchase. So I would report them, or what you can do, but there is a chance that you lose that. They keep all of your money and you get a defect on your account. So just make sure that you are a great seller already in good standing. And then also make sure that it is actually fraudulent. You can report the buyer, you'll keep all your money and eBay will refund them out of eBay's pockets. Second option, which has a 100% success rate, is you can just withhold 50% of the refund. So you don't refund the shipping and you withhold 50% of the sales price. And they can report you to eBay, but eBay will say, hey, this was their policy, so we're going to stand by them. So you have those two options. What do you do to stay motivated to make listings? I find that to be the most challenging, aka boring part of the whole process. I just have a really strong why, and I also just really enjoy working. So I am probably the worst person to ask that question because.
And your wife spends all your money.
And my wife spends all my money, so I gotta keep the bank account happy. I just really like. I don't know. I just actually really enjoy the process of working and building. So I really don't struggle with motivation to list whatsoever. But if I did have struggles to motivation while listing, what I would do is I would break up my items. So professional eaters, this is really cool. Professional eaters, if they have like this, like you'll see that they have like a huge steak and then like a mountain of mashed potatoes and a milkshake. What they do is instead of eating a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this over and over again, they only eat the meat until they are sick of the meat. And then they go to the mashed potatoes and they eat the mashed potatoes until they are sick of the mashed potatoes. And they go back to the meat and then they do the milkshake until they're sick of the milkshake. So what I would recommend doing is if you have 20 items that you need to get listed, if you have like, so in my business, for example, if I have like 10 frames, 5 remote controls, and then 5 just random items, then I start with the 10 frames because frames are a bit harder to list and they suck. And I just tell myself, I'm a big boy, I'm just going to get 10 done. And I just do all 10 of those. And then I move on to the 5 remotes. And then I actually would move on to the 5 random ones. And then I would finish with the 5 remotes because they're the easiest to do. So just break things up into sections and be like, okay, I'm just going to do close. And you can set a number, but what's more effective is you say, I am going to list clothing for 1 hour. And whether you do 6 or 50, I am just doing it for 1 hour and I'm not going to do anything else. That is the best way to do it. Caitlin, no LeBron. I like Caitlin, but LeBron is significantly better at basketball than Caitlin Clark is. How do you think I should go about doing an exclusivity deal with a local pawn shop chain? I've done 20K in video game deals with, do mega bulk buys and prevent other resellers from getting my deals. I've never done that. It's an interesting concept. Honestly, I would just research negotiation skills on YouTube and actually implement those. You can never go up in price. So just know that the first price you say is the utmost you will get. So when you start a negotiation, you don't want to give, say, 1,000 and then later realize, oh crap, I should have done 2,000. Can we do 2,000? They're gonna say no for sure because you already agreed upon 1,000. So like I did a lot of summer sales and it was easy to say, hey, we're just, we're doing this service for $129 and people would say no, but they'd be a little interested and I can say, hey, just keep it between you and me. Don't tell any of your neighbors. I'll do you guys for 109. You just got to keep that between us. And people would be like, oh, okay, yeah. But I couldn't be like, oh, well, you don't want it at 109. Well, what if I gave you an extra service and it's only 20 more bucks? So now we're at 149. I'd be like, no, I don't want it at 129. Why would I want it at 140? But you can say, you know what? Let's keep it at 129 and then I'll also include a free service 7 days later just to really make sure everything's taken care of. Then people are like, oh yeah, so you're creating value. Basically what I'm trying to say is I don't have any tips for your specific situation, but sales skills and negotiation skills are relevant to all of these types of encounters. So that's what I would do. Just work on your negotiation skills. I got a bunch of vintage Avon items that someone gave to me. How have you ever sold and would you even bother selling them? Avon, American Arbitrage has made a lot of money off of Avon, not by selling them, but by telling people not to buy them and not to sell them. Avon's a tricky one because they just mass produce the crap out of it. So yes, of course, there is like 2% of Avon items that sell for extremely good money, and there's like probably 8% that sells for decent money. So if you want to take the time to find that 8% out of that lot, you can, but don't get tempted to list the ones that are only worth like $9 to $12, like $4 to $12, because a lot of those are very saturated and there's hundreds or dozens listed and only a few sales. So if you want to take the time to find that 8% or less, I would do that. But other than that, yeah, me personally, how big is the lot? If it's 100, then I'll take the time to look. Then I'll take the time to find the 2 or 5 or 10 that are worth selling. If there's like 2,000, I wouldn't even take the time. I would just liquidate it all. What are you looking at, Harry?
Just the comments.
Huh? If you spot an item that has 1 listed and 1 sold, or 0 listed and 1 sold in the last 90 days, would you pick it up or pass for a higher volume? Oh, I'd pick that up for sure. I pick stuff up like that all the time. I'll even pick up things that have like 2 listed and 1 sold, just because you can after you do this for a while, you can actually tell like if that's an item that's selling or not. Jackie says there's 200 of the Avon items. Yeah, I'd take the time to try to find the 4 or 5 that are going to sell for like $25 or more, and then everything else. Me personally, I would sell it on shopcommons.net, or you can just give it to somebody else. But yeah, I would definitely buy and sell that item. Having my best month yet, promoting at 10% has paid off big. I'm comfortable at that rate with the large profit margins. Nice. Yeah. So for some people's business, promoting at 10% is great. There's a lot of big time resellers that promote at 10%. Some people do 5, some people do 2, some people do 0. There's some people that do 40. That's wild. Especially in the media, like the books category, you have to pay more fees on books. And then some people are like promoting at 40%. It's like, sheesh. How is your desk so clean? Where's all the stuff? I have tons of different videotape formatting for testing, extra labels, cleaning supplies, TVs, and testing, etc. My wife would say that my desk is not clean. But
Okay, it's pretty clean.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no,
at the beginning of, or like during the day, it's not. But...
Yeah. Throughout the workday, it's a bit. I mean, right now I have 2 burritos on my desk that I'm gonna eat after this. But
what your lovely wife made for you?
I would say that my lovely wife made for me. I would say that I am above average organized, but not extremely organized.
No, I would say you're extremely.
Oh, my wife would say I'm extremely organized. Wow.
Especially for an eBay business.
Yeah,
I would say it's very organized.
Yeah, I do my best to just the best thing you can do to stay organized is to just list everything you have. It's when you it's when you have your death pile. So like, let me show you this, guys. This is not organized at all. I'm going live with Kevin on the 25th on shopcommons.net. So normally I would just list all of these bulk items, but because I'm waiting for the 25th, I have this pile of junk. It's not junk. It's actually decent stuff. But like, I guess this is a death pile. I have a plan for it. It's all going to be gone on the 25th. I'm just waiting for that live show. But if you have a death pile like this, and some of you right now are thinking to yourself, oh, that's a pretty small death pile. If that's the case, get to listing. But yeah, if you have all of those items all the time, it's impossible to stay organized, because not only do you have those, but it's also just like weighing on your mind and giving you stress and anxiety about all of the items that you have. So do you think sourcing at an outlet mall is worth it? I live very close to big name brands outlet malls. Yeah, especially if you're selling on Amazon. I know a lot of people that make, honestly, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month from Nike outlets. Those guys are big time. But yeah, you can make a full-time living just from outlet malls and outlet stores and things like that. Do you know any other resellers working out of Hawaii? Oh, that's where you're from. That's why it's 9 a.m. Yeah, I know of resellers in Hawaii. I don't know of any of them that have YouTube channels or anything like that, but I have bought from, people have bought from me lots and stuff that live in Hawaii, and they say, hey, thanks, I follow you on YouTube. I'm going to be listing all this on eBay myself. So, Yeah, I don't know of any YouTubers in Hawaii. Appreciate the content, and even more than that, a fellow believer. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you, Brian. Appreciate you a lot. What's the best time to list items? Anytime. The Green Bay Packer jacket all over the place here. LOL. Yeah, but what I found was a Letterman all leather with huge patches. So like any run of the mill NFL jacket isn't going to sell for a lot of money, but one of them that I found at a Burlington is worth over $200 because it's very custom and dope. We have a super chat. Wow. From NorCal Scores, Marcy. Marcy, I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been? I feel like it's been so long since I've talked to you. Thanks for the $10 super chat. It says you posted a video with steps to prescription glasses. Could you help me? And hi again. Yeah, it's been a while. Appreciate you saying hi in the super chat. I haven't posted a dedicated video to eyeglass frames. I need to get on that because a lot of people ask for it. But yeah, just a quick rundown. Make sure that it says frames only. I prefer in all caps in the title and in the description. Make sure that it does not say prescription or RX anywhere in the listing, especially in the item specifics. That's where I've gotten into trouble twice. I've had 2 items taken down, 2 warnings. I actually had to take a 1-day vacation 8 months into reselling before I had a YouTube channel. I was suspended for 1 day because 3 glasses were listed as prescription. And it was because in the item specific magnification strength, it had like -2 or plus 0.5. And that's what got those listings taken down. So make sure that it's nowhere does it reference that they are prescription or RX or have any sort of magnification strength whatsoever. And then yeah, make sure that, and then you can, and then just make sure that you aren't listing your sunglasses for sunglass prices. like you'll find some Oakleys that will have good lenses and they're selling for like 139, but then frames only are selling for 69. You got to sell your frames only for 69. Don't list them as 139. Don't get that confused, right? Sweet. Hi, honey. If you guys have any questions for Brinley, you can also put them in the chat. And I'm thinking about having Brinley on. We've talked about her being on the Reseller Island podcast. So put a soccer ball emoji in the comment section if you think that that's a good idea. If you think it's a good idea to have Brinley on the Reseller Island podcast, type in soccer or put an emoji. In the chat. Let's see here. Oh wow, we already got 2 soccer balls. We got 2 soccer balls, babe. Is there any fix to going below standard? I got the defects removed, but they refused to reevaluate. Yeah, you just have to wait until the 20th. Oh, we got another soccer ball. You just have to wait until the 20th of each month. So you just have to make sure that your account is in good standing. 4 soccer balls, babe. They're racking up.
It's not gonna happen.
You have to just make sure 5. You have to make sure that you are in good account standing, and you just have to wait until that 20th. So you're about to be reevaluated tomorrow, which is great. So hopefully you are in. You've done enough to be in the above. Oh wow, Joe gave us like 12 soccer balls in one chat.
Go Joe.
So, and there's like, oh, Dallas gave us a basketball.
What the freak, Dallas?
So yeah, so the best thing you need to do is just keep selling, keep doing everything you're supposed to do as an eBay reseller, and then every 20th you're evaluated. So you'll be evaluated tomorrow or the next day. So Utah Jazz, the best. We are the best. We suck, but we are the best. I love the Jazz so much, especially all the young players. Yeah, babe, we just got soccer balls on soccer balls on soccer balls. Do I need a scale to ship properly? What's your opinion about media mail versus UPS for DVDs, VHS tapes? So when they are under, yes, having a scale is great. You just get one. you can get them for like $18 or less. So you can even find them for like $10. But just get yourself a scale. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And then anything under 4 ounces, I just ship ground advantage. Anything 5 ounces or more, I ship media. Oh wow! Someone gave us a soccer ball, a baseball, a softball, a basketball, a volleyball, a football, and an 8-ball pool.
I'm a sports girl. I like sports.
So yeah, so anything 5 ounces or above, I ship media because it's cheaper, but it gets to them slower. And then anything 4 ounces or below, sometimes it's like 18 cents more or 25 cents more, but it gets to them anywhere from 1 to 5 days faster. So that's how I do it. How do you test remote controls? Not sure if that's been asked. I have a video. If you just go to YouTube and type in JRide Flips remotes, I show you how to do that. But I don't even test remotes. I have sold, at this point, I think I've sold 12,000 remotes, and only like 4 of them haven't worked. If it has a screen like a Logitech, then I test that. But like my wife's skewing remotes right now.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to because I can't find.
These remotes, I don't test. I just make sure that they don't have corrosion. As long as they don't have corrosion on these spindles, then I just list them, because 4 out of 12,000 is not even close to 0.1%. So I list them all as tested, as working, and then if for whatever reason they aren't working, then they can just send it back for no reason. Wow, we are 45 minutes behind in the chat. So what I'm going to do here, if you guys are still here and you have questions, I'm going to skip to the bottom of comments. If you guys asked a question and it hasn't been answered, please go ahead and retype it. I don't want to be 45 minutes behind in the chat and have you guys waiting on me to get to your questions. So if you guys have a question that hasn't been answered, go ahead and put them in the chat, and then I will get to them. And if you guys have any questions for my wife, we can read those as well, because she's right here next to me to the left. She's just skewing remote controls.
I'm an idiot.
That's right. You're amazing. I have a different user than the buyer message me and say that they're the buyer and are filling a refund through PayPal. Scream scam, right? Yeah, just ignore them. Just you can be nice and say, please contact me through the eBay buyer account. If not, you will be ignored. That's what I do. But yeah, don't listen to them at all whatsoever. My sell-through rate is 175% over 90 days, selling mainly electronics and toys and games. Should I raise prices, or is 175% okay? It just depends on your goals for your business. So right now you already have a cash flow rich business. So you just have to ask yourself, do you want more money quickly, or a little bit less money, or a little bit? Do you want more revenue right now, or do you want more profit? So it really just depends on your business model. But a lot of times, even increasing the price by $1 or $6, like, really limits your sell-through rate. So just be careful with that. But yeah, either option is good. It just depends on what you want from your business. Let's see here. We got some good questions here. Where do you go on eBay to prove you purchased extra insurance on an item? Sorry, Alicia. Unfortunately, I don't know. I think you'd have to go to your USPS store and show the receipt. And if you don't have the receipt, you might have any issues. Hopefully someone else in the chat who knows more about that can help you. But yeah, really sorry. Oh, look, flipping from the trailer. JRide married up.
He did not.
I hear that all the time. It is true.
For sure.
It is true. I have a vintage puffer Green Bay Packers jacket, no views, and I don't know why. I thought my keywords were good. It might just be $6 too expensive. Also, I mean, Wisconsin is starting to get colder. So like all of these Patagonia jackets, they're selling for like $40 right now. They're going to be selling for $55 in a month, and they're going to be selling for $70 in 2 months. So you might just have to wait. It will probably sell if it's priced correctly. It will probably sell within the next 2 months for sure. But it's just been so hot and warm that jackets haven't really been selling. But now you have the winter, and you have the NFL season. So you should start selling that jacket if it's priced correctly. But if it's too high, then you're not going to be able to sell it. So just make sure that you are priced correctly, and you should sell it soon. Anthony with the $10 super chat, thank you.
Yes.
Said, I wanted the pat on the head, LOL. I have my first ever 1K video, and I'm up 22 subs in the last 2 days. Also, you have to find the troll comment I left in the chat. They're hilarious.
Don't leave troll comments.
Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate you. No, Anthony's our friend.
Oh,
Dragon.
you can leave troll comments.
Yeah, you can leave. My wife approves the troll comments. Thanks, man. Appreciate the $10 super chat. And yeah, what was the video? Go ahead and shamelessly plug it right now. You can share it in the chat, and then hopefully you'll get a few. Hopefully you'll get a good amount of views and a good amount of subs too. Everyone go sub to him if he earns it. Watch his video, and if you like it, subscribe. And if you don't like it, then don't subscribe. And Anthony, I'm saying that to help you, because if people subscribe to your video, to your channel, but then don't watch your video, it hurts you. So only subscribe to JRide Flips if you like me and flipping content. Only subscribe to JRide Picks if you like sourcing content. If you don't, then don't. Please don't subscribe, because it hurts the channel. But if you like Anthony and his videos, which he has 100K, he has a 1K video, I'm sure you'll like it. So go ahead and subscribe. Here it is right here. I don't think I can pin it from Deal Soldier, but I can pin it on YouTube that I'm not even on. But yeah, whatever. Everyone go check out Anthony's new video. It's awesome. What would you consider a good monthly income for part-time reselling? I do about 10 hours a week. So it's super. So honestly, it depends a lot on your area too. So Hawaii is pretty expensive. But you can also live a pretty minimalist lifestyle in Hawaii. My wife and I just got back like a year ago. Well, 8 months ago, and it was super awesome. What island do you live on, Nick? But yeah, it really just depends on your bills and your current job. So I think if you have a full-time job and you're making 25% of your monthly bills, Oahu, oh sick.
I love to Oahu.
Yeah. If you are full-time and you're making 25% of your bills on top, then that's pretty good. That's a good starting point. And if you can double your bills, then you're killing it. If you're doing all of that, then it's awesome. But yeah, it really, like, I can't just say $1,000 or $200 or $5,000 just because $5,000 a month in Alabama is life-changing, but $5,000 a month in New York City is like, oh, I mean, yeah, that's a nice chunk of money, but it's not life-changing. So
can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Also, it's just you're adding income. Like, it's not any income outside of your full-time job is going to help you. So, like, just start somewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, also another a pretty good measurement would be how much money do you make at work? Like if you're making like $15 an hour at work, and then you're making $150 a week at 10 hours, then boom, you're coming home and you're doubling your income. And then if you can make, the ultimate goal with side hustles is to make more hourly at your side hustle than you are at your job. So if you're making like 20 bucks an hour at your job, you want to be making at least $25 an hour on your side hustle. I'm heading to a local library who is holding their annual book sale. Any tips, bolos, or suggestions?
Find Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. My wife is a fall gal, and she is obsessed with Harry Potter. I always joke, my wife was a D1 athlete. Most of you guys know that. She played soccer. But I always joke that she was one ankle sprain away from being a huge Harry Potter nerd.
I am a full Harry Potter nerd.
But yeah, no, honestly, when it comes to like books and stuff, I'm not like super well versed in it. But anything that has, I've learned this with media in general, with CDs, with books, with everything. Anything that's like sort of like weird and borderline demonic sells really well. So like every time I'm looking through CDs, if it has like a barbed wire fence or like crows or if it's like metal or anything like that, it sells better. So but yeah, I don't have a ton of advice for books, unfortunately. Agreed on remotes. I've only had one remote in 3 years not work with clean terminals, though I still check them if they are clean and worth over $20 or so. Just feels like I should. Yeah. Yeah. so when it comes to remotes, like you said, only one in 3 years hasn't come back. So if you are, if you're listing over 20 a day, I don't think you need to list them at all, especially if you just say, hey, yeah, free returns for whatever reason. Like most people that do media and CDs, like especially the volume guys, the guys and gals that are listing 200 CDs a day, they're not testing them. They are just giving you a guarantee that if it doesn't work, you can send them back. Through their experience, they can see how many scratches are on the CD, and they can tell usually the quality just by looking at it within a variable. And then if for whatever reason it doesn't work, you just send it back, free refund, no questions, guaranteed. So that's how I run my business. Is the listing description, do I mention that the lenses need to be replaced? So the description isn't absolutely important, but it's going to help you with returns. So for every 100 frames that I send out, it says frames only, lenses need to be replaced. And I still get about 2 for every 100 that say, hey, these are prescription lenses. I thought I was getting sunglasses. And it's annoying and frustrating, but you just accept the return. If I don't put it in the description, then that 2 jumps up to like 4. So I put in all caps on the description of my eyeglasses. I put frames only, period, all caps, and then the other all caps. It would be, I put lenses must be replaced. So frames only, lenses must be replaced in all caps in the description. Got a question for your wife. How do I get my 8-year-old daughter to play more aggressive in soccer? She gets close to the ball, but timid when the opponent shows up and half taps kicks the ball. How does she play more aggressive?
My mom always told me that if I went in scared, then I was going to get hurt. And I had an older sister that liked to beat me up. So I don't really have any advice for that. I guess just it comes through experience. Like you'll just learn that like you either hit or get hit, and it's much more fun to hit.
Yeah.
So
good advice. No, yeah, she's probably timid because she's afraid. And if she can just understand that there's a higher likelihood of getting hurt if she is timid, then she might be a little more aggressive. Where do you source your shipping, supplies, boxes, tape, bubble wrap? Bubble wrap, I just type into eBay bubble wrap and I buy the first good listing. I get my poly mailers for free from GyroPack. I like GyroPack. They have great stuff. There's a 10% off link in the description if you want to check those out. And then boxes, I get all my boxes from dumpsters.
And your in-laws?
And my in-laws. My wife, my mother-in-law gets about 2 packages every single day on Amazon. That's not an exaggeration.
It's not a good day unless there's packages.
She says it's not a good day unless there's an Amazon package coming. So I get a ton of boxes from them. And then all the other boxes that I need, I just get from a Kroger dumpster or Dollar Tree. Thank you so much for what you do. You are the reason that I'm successful flipping items on eBay. I've never had more than 70 items and I've made thousands in 2 months. Thank you so much. Well, Jeff, you are the reason that you are successful flipping items on eBay. I appreciate the compliment, but you are the one that sought out the knowledge and are continuing to find the good items. So that's all on you, man. Any advice for full-time stay-at-home mom just starting out buying from Vinted and selling on eBay, struggling with generating any profit, and I'm just going to inventory and supplies. Thank you from London. I was about to say, you said mom and Vinted, so I was going to say, are you from the UK?
First off, shout out that she's a mom.
Yeah, killing it. What I recommend the most, especially for someone in a situation like this, is you don't have to always be growing. So when you are constantly building your store over and over and over and over again, you're just spending all your money on new inventory to grow your store. So what we're doing right now is we're getting to 3,000 active items, and then we're going to stay there. And we're just going to make a ton of money for 3 months. And then after those 3 months where we've stashed some cash, then we're going to go for 4,000. What I recommend doing is getting to a place where you have consistent sales and then staying there for a while. So just you sell 4 per day, you list 4 per day. And then you just keep doing that for a while. So you actually are seeing money come into your livelihood, into your bank account. And then from there, you move. It's called a cash plateau. So you invest money into your business and you're generating more money, but you're making less profit because you're reinvesting everything, then you get to a point where you plateau for a second, then you go back to an investment cycle and then back to a plateau cycle. But yeah, grow slower than you want to. I know it sucks. Smooth is fast and fast is smooth. No, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. We always want to make more money and go faster. But when we go slower, we actually end up making more profit and having less stress as well. I'm trying to submit my invoice to Amazon to get ungated. Where do I submit my invoice at? I'm having a lot of trouble. This is a very, go into YouTube and type in how to submit invoice to Amazon. And there will be a step-by-step guide exactly how to do it. So on this technical question, just search that on YouTube and it will tell you exactly how to do it. I cannot find any comps on it either. No jacket like it. Good point. Thank you. I think you're talking about the Green Bay Packers jacket. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just keep us updated on that. But yeah, just make, I would take it off auction and I would just put it at a buy it now price, similar to other jackets like it. You may not be able to find the exact one, but you can find very similar ones. And then put it at a buy it now price, and it will sell during the winter if it's priced appropriately. It seems like the most resellers that I watch on YouTube have an average item to sell of around 3 months. Does this seem to be in line with your results? Yeah, so if I have, when I get to 3,000 items, I'll have like 3,000 sales every 90 days. So yeah, that's about it. Wow, Nike's up 7.6% today on the stock market. So that's dope. Yeah, so I'm about right there as well. I wasn't the troll, by the way, LOL, but I didn't block the troll. What was the troll talking about? I saw some people mentioning it. Do you have a spreadsheet that you use to track all your inventory profits, cost of goods, etc., looking for efficient systems for my business? So there is my reseller Genie in the description below. It's not what I use because I have a S corporation and I have a accountant that does payroll and all of that. So they have all of those systems set in place for me. But if I didn't have that, then eBay, my seller hub on eBay has all the information you need except for cost of goods. So all you would need to do is track your own cost of goods. And they have that section available in my reseller Genie if you want to check it out. You got that right about 5K being life-changing in Bama. Cost of living is low, 30K, one of the lowest in the nation. Yeah, Bama Jayberg resales. Nice to see you here, man. Yeah, no, and that's no disrespect to Alabama or New York. They're just different situations. Like if you're making $5,000 a month in Alabama, in most neighborhoods, you are upper middle class. If you are making $5,000 a month in New York City, you are way, way below middle class. You're probably pretty close to the poverty line at that point. Let's see here. Your answer is a great perspective to consider what is a good monthly income. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's the best way to look at it. You can't just put a number on it. It all depends on your circumstances. I'm moving to Alabama. Where do you live, Anthony? I forgot. You told me once. I think it's Ohio. Aren't you in Ohio? Can't remember. I loved your comment regarding the Middle East conflict. Appreciate it.
What did you say?
I just said that we all need to love each other, and I don't know a lot about it.
That's facts.
I'll be looking for you, bro. Do you give the customer your eBay discount on shipping? No, I don't. I asked about 10 quick questions that would be very beneficial to all of us. I can't scroll back. Yeah, sorry. They're all buried at this point. So if you want to ask them again, then we can go over them. But yeah, sorry about that. There's just too many people in the chat that I can't get to all of the questions. But if you re-ask it, we're already starting to get behind again. But I can really look for your name, Joe. But you're gonna have, unfortunately, you're gonna have to ask them again if you want them answered because they're buried in hundreds of comments right now. I've been struggling not to go sourcing, even though my death pile is huge. Was going to go to an estate sale this weekend, but I will stay home to list and do chores instead. Thanks for the reminder. You got this.
I like the chores one.
You got this.
Yeah.
Chores is great as well. Regarding struggling with listing, if you do clothing, don't forget to break it up into tops and bottoms so you don't have to keep changing your setup. I find that frustrating. Yeah, especially if you have to keep changing your setup, that's definitely going to affect how many you get up and how motivated you are to do it. So that's awesome. That's another amazing tip as well. LOL, I think that's the advice. It's more fun to hit. Yeah. How would you go about hiring a lister? I list 20 a day, but it's hard since I am a one-man show. I would, if you have 0 employees,
Get married.
I would hire a shipper first. My wife said get married. get your spouse to do it. It took a while for me to convince my wife over too.
Not convince me. I was playing soccer.
Yeah. But what I would actually recommend doing first is hiring someone to ship for you. So if you can, if you are getting items from yard sales and thrift stores, they're typically not in listable condition yet. They need to be cleaned or have like tags taken off. So what I would recommend doing is hiring someone first to prep your items, i.e. cleaning them, and then to ship your items. So that would be my first employee hire. And then I would hire someone to do shipping after that. So hire someone to free up time for you to do more listings. So you need to do more sourcing and more listings. So first thing you hire is someone to take care of your items and ship them for you. Your second hire, or you just give more hours to your first hire, they start listing. And then I would never really hire someone to source for me. It's just like too complicated and it's not the most ROI positive. But what you want to do is at the beginning, do everything. And then the first thing you eliminate is prepping your items. The next thing you eliminate is shipping them. The next thing you eliminate is listing. And then you always just need to be sourcing. What's up, Jake? Fourth quarter is here, already averaging 1K a day on sales of September. I have 30K liquid parked on my eBay account and HYAS Rex or other secure investing options. Man, I love these questions. So yeah, it sounds like you got a good head on your shoulders. You're already doing good when it comes to finances. So with the rate cut, bank account, saving accounts, and different things are going to start going down and fluctuating pretty hard and stuff. So there's a lot of banks right now that are offering certificates where they will guarantee the rate for if you can, there are even banks that will guarantee like 24 months, which is insane because there will be more rate cuts over the next 24 months. So if you can get locked in at like a 5.5% or 6% yield, that's a very good place to park your money. If you want to be a little bit riskier than that, you can invest your money into ETFs through just a normal brokerage account, but just understand that you will have to pay taxes on that income when you sell. I just recommend broad VOO and SCHD for a dividend income. And then if you want to be even riskier than that, then you can buy single stocks in your brokerage account. But what I really like to do, I think you said, so you have your HYAS. I really like the HSA account. It's a triple tax saving. You don't get taxed on the money you put in, and you don't get taxed on the growth, and you don't get taxed on any of the money that comes out, which is awesome. So what I do is if you're not making over $200,000 a year, I would max out your Roth IRA first. Then I would max out your 401k. Then I would max out your HSA. Any money after that, if you are low risk, then you can pay down your mortgage quicker, or you can invest it into bill notes or bonds. And then if you have a little bit more of a risk tolerance, which I do, then you can put it into the stock market and make more money, but also have more downturns. I'm really excited to make my JRide Finance channel one day. I don't know when it'll be, but I'm excited. And JRide makes note to self. It's more fun to hit. There you go. How I can get more views or watchers on eBay. List better items. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it is much easier to get. Wow, Nike's up 10% today now. That thing is ripping. I'm invested in Nike, so I get notifications on my phone when it's ripping. If you just focus on better items, that is the easiest way to get more views. It is much easier to get views on a good item than it is. It's easier to get more views from buying good items than it is to buy bad items and try to get more views with better titles or better keywords or better item specifics. If you have a Ferrari, much more people will be interested in looking at and purchasing a Ferrari than they will be in purchasing a 96 Geo Prism, right? So if you just have better quality items, you're going to get more views. If you have worse quality items, you're going to get less views. No one wants to hear that, but that truly is the best way to get more views, is to have better items. And that's why my tips from earlier on in the video were all item based. It was get new items, get seasonal items, and get high sold items. It wasn't use better keywords, post at better times, do more discounts, do more coupons. None of that. You can do that. It'll help fairly. The coupons and the discounts will help. All the other stuff really won't. But getting better items will help you have a better Q4 for sure. Joe says, what crypto coin do you like? So I have a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit of Ethereum. I just like those two big dogs. We made a lot of money back in the day on Dogecoin. I bought at I bought at 4 cents. I bought a good chunk of Dogecoin at 4 cents, and then I sold the night that Elon Musk did his SNL Saturday. He hosted Saturday Night Live. I believe I sold out for 68 cents each. So yeah, that was a dope investment right there. But yeah, right now I'm just holding Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't do any other coins or speculative things like that. What's the minimum you want to make on an item? What percentage do you buy? I don't look at minimums on anything except for sell-through rate. So like the only governing factor in my decision making when it comes to buying items is sell-through rate. So obviously I don't want to make 80 cents per item or like $1 per item, but if I make $3 or $4 or more and it has a fast sell-through rate, I buy it. So if something is $80 and it has an extremely fast sell-through rate and it sells for $140, I buy it. If something is $8 and it has an extremely fast sell-through rate at $20, I buy it. I only buy off of sell-through rate. I don't care about anything else, because when you are buying things that have fast sell-through rate, the profit is almost always there, unless the person selling you the item knows more about its value. What are the top 5 items you look for at a thrift store? Joe, it looks like you're from Facebook. Hop over to YouTube and actually watch my content here on YouTube, because this is what my channel is about. So the top 5 items to look for at a thrift store changes every single day and week and year on eBay. So right now my top 5 categories are probably cameras and remotes and eyeglass frames. And that's like my top 3. But yeah, the top 5 changes like every single week. If there was just a solid top 5, there would be no need for YouTubers at all whatsoever. We would all just keep buying the same stuff and selling the same stuff over and over and over and over again. But yeah, if you wanna like have the answers to all these questions that you're asking, I answer this every single day on YouTube. All my videos are centered around these questions. Let's see here. Sorry, I kind of bounced around a little bit. Oh no, I test all my cameras. It's just the remotes. The remotes like the remotes have less than a 0.01% chance of not working. But yeah, all the cameras, all the toasters, everything else gets tested. But CDs and remotes don't. Do you clean vacuum cleaner parts or electric brooms if they are very dirty? Absolutely. Yep. And that has nothing to do with the algorithm. It has everything to do with the customer. So what does your customer want? Does your customer want to buy a clean vacuum or a dirty vacuum? Is the chances of people buying a clean vacuum over a dirty vacuum much higher? If the answer is yes, then yes. Do you buy lots of remotes from eBay to sell? Yes, I do. What is your eBay name on eBay so I can look at your items? I am JRide Flips everywhere. On eBay, on Facebook, on YouTube, everywhere. So how do you make money on shipping? Do you set a flat fee or keep the difference, or what? Because you Because when I use calculated shipping, they just give them the price it would cost me to ship. Yeah, there's just a button. You just go to your policies and you unclick pass on the discount. So if I list something, then I keep the discount. That's how. All right, we've been going for close to 2 hours here. We're getting close to the end of questions here. If you guys have any other burning questions, go ahead and ask them, but we'll hop off here in the next couple minutes. What percent of your buy now prices do you take best offers on? 100% of them. Every single one. Boom, welcome to YouTube. I promote at 3.1%. All of my items. Every single one of them. But yeah, no, like if people make offers and they're reasonable offers, then I accept them. Not 80%, 100%. Yep, so if someone sends me a reasonable offer, Joe, you got to use a little more complete sentences here. I'm not understanding what you're saying. But 100% of my listings are buy it now, if that's what you're asking. Cash or accrual method. I have an S corporation, so every penny that I make from business goes to one account, and then the IRS assumes that every single penny of that is profit until I tell them otherwise with my deductions. So so every time I spend money in my business, it is a deduction. I don't, yeah. And then I just use a average method across all of my items purchase wise for inventory. So I buy a lot of items for $1. I buy a lot of items for $35, but I can, with enough receipts, I can boil it down to one average, and then I declare an average, and that's how I do my inventory. Is there a certain percentage you take off of your buy it now price, like 80% on buy it now price? Yeah, so every morning I wake up to about like 25 offers, and then I send out 15% off on all of my items. And then around lunchtime, I have like 15 more to send out, and I do 15% off. And then before I go to sleep, I have like another 30%. I do 15% off. And then if people give me like a 20 or a 25% off offer, I usually take it. Sometimes I consider like 33% off. Every once in a while, I'll consider like a 40% off, but that's pretty rare. But yeah, anyone that sends me like between a 10 under a 25% offer, I usually accept. Unless it's like a camera or something like that, then I usually just don't even accept offers because cameras just sell so fast. But yeah, guys, we've been going for a really long time. I've been staring at these burritos the whole time, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat those. Thank you, honey. Yeah, appreciate all you guys coming out here and listening to the live. Appreciate you if in the future, if you have watched this and made it all the way to this point, you're a baller. But appreciate you guys coming out. We'll see you guys next time.